Hi guys, it's Facebook job search question of the week time. And this week's question has to do with connecting with recruiters on LinkedIn. Should you try and do it? At what stage should you try and do it? How should you do it? So it can be a little complicated, but hopefully this video will make it just a little bit easier for you to understand kind of how recruiters are thinking these days. Know that if you are a job seeker, you are one of many. That's kind of the harsh reality of the world today. And so many job seekers are on LinkedIn and they're trying to connect with recruiters, and they're doing it at all stages of the interview process. So I kind of break this answer down differently for the different stages of the interview process you could be in. So let's just say you have a company that you really want to work for. There's no job openings at this time that fit your background, but you're going to, you would apply for anything that came open at this company because you really just want to work for the company. Do I suggest that you connect with the recruiter at that point? No, I don't. You can certainly send a request, and you know, the answer is that you could always try and send a request and hopefully the recruiter will say yes. But know that just because they say yes doesn't mean that they're going to, you know, answer your calls or check your resume again or even remember that they connected with you. So it's not really about getting that connection, it's about the quality of the connection. And so if you're in that early stage where you just really want to work for the company but they don't have any openings right now, I don't suggest going straight to the recruiter. I suggest maybe working through the groups that you're involved in where you could have people who are in the same department that you would want to work for in that group. So if you wanted to work for Motorola in marketing, you might join some marketing groups on LinkedIn, and there could be Motorola marketing people on those groups. You start talking with them, you start connecting with them, and then when a job opening comes up, you have a connection there, a connection that you've built a relationship with that can take you straight to the recruiter. So if there's no job openings, I suggest kind of working it through the groups, through other people in the company, trying to make the connections there rather than go straight to the recruiter. If you have applied for a job and you are in the very early stages, so you haven't gotten a call back yet, your resume is under review, do I suggest that you connect with the recruiter then? Definitely not. At that point, probably everybody who's applied for that job is trying to connect with them. And again, they may accept your connection, but it's not very quality. It doesn't mean that they're going to take another look at your resume. It doesn't mean that they're going to call you in for an interview. It just means they have one more connection on LinkedIn. So again, I would try, you know, another avenue. Is there a connection that you have that can, you know, connect you to the recruiter? Anytime you have a warm connection, that somebody who can introduce you, it's way better than just sending them a connection request. And when you send them a connection request that says, hey, I applied for this job and I'd like to connect with on LinkedIn, that's the same thing as leaving them a voicemail or an email that says, I'd like to follow up on my application. They're going to treat it the same way. So if they tend not to answer those phone calls or emails, they're not going to do anything with that LinkedIn connection. So hopefully that makes sense. In the application stage, you know, I don't think it helps to email the recruiter, try to connect with them on LinkedIn and say, hey, I applied for this job and I'd like to connect. I think, you know, if you have any other avenue, anybody else that could introduce you to the recruiter, that would be better. Further along in the process, I say absolutely. If you have had an interview, you have talked to the recruiter on the phone or in person, I say absolutely try and connect with them, but ask them first. So at the end of that phone interview, say, hey, you know, I would really like to keep in contact with you. Even if this position doesn't work out, there could be future positions that you have, and I'd like to just keep in touch. Is it okay if I connect with you on LinkedIn? More than likely, they're going to say yes, because that's a much easier connection for them. If you say, can I connect with you on LinkedIn, then they're not going to be assuming that you're going to be sending them an email every single week. They're going to know that you're out there on LinkedIn and that you will contact them when, you know, you see another position. So once you've met them, once you've talked to them, even if it's just for a few minutes of a phone screen, at the end of that, just say, you know, I'd really like to connect with you on LinkedIn. Is that okay? The further you get along in the process, absolutely. Even especially if you get all the way to the end of the stage, the offer point, and maybe it came down to 2 people and they chose another person, connect with everybody that you've met with at that point after you've asked them if you can do so. anytime you can create that warm connection versus just the cold, I'd like to connect with you, I think it offers way more value. So there's lots of ways you can go around connecting with people in the company. You don't have to go straight for the recruiter. That's kind of the moral of this whole video, is that you don't have to go straight to the recruiter. You can try using the groups on LinkedIn to find people that work for the company already, that do what you do, and you may be able to interact with them, talk to them for a while, and they get to know you. And then there's a position that pops up at their company and you say, hey, I'm kind of interested in this, and they feel like they know you, and so they take you straight to the recruiter. So I think that's a better approach for sure. I hope this helps. I hope your job search is going well. If you have a job search question that you would like answered by a coach, then you can put it right on the wall of the Facebook page, facebook.com/Acacia HR Solutions, and type your question in there, and it'll get answered either there on the wall or in one of these videos. So I love getting your all's feedback and your questions, and I hope that these videos are helping other job seekers kind of know how to navigate this daunting process. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.